Welcome, everybody. I'm Commander Jorval, and I'm happy to see that you're joining me for episode 18 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Ranger gameplay series. So, some administrative notes. As I've mentioned previously, I've had COVID fairly recently, and some of those symptoms are still around, and today I have a pretty clogged up throat. So if you hear me clear my throat a little bit more than usual, again, I apologize. It's gonna be one of those things that just lingers with me for a while, so I'll try and mute the mic as much as I can to avoid it, but if it happens, again, I apologize for it. So, getting into the gameplay update, we left off last time after having explored most of the Grymforge. Exploring most of the Dwergar interactions that we're going to be able to have there. And at the end, we had come back and positioned ourselves next to the waypoint. And, sorry. And we're getting ready to continue on into the Adamantine Forge area of the Grymforge. This is a large area on the size of the Grymforge itself, so it takes a lot of exploration, and it ends with the penultimate fight in the early access version of Baldur's Gate 3, and that's the fight against Grimm, who is the golem that is guarding the Adamantine Forge. Along the way, we'll have a few other fights to deal with, but this is mainly exploration and looting up to a certain point, and then we'll get to the Grymforge itself. We'll see how much time we have in the live stream to see whether or not we're going to be able to do the fight at the Adamantine Forge or not. We'll see when we get there. That fight is also a little bit glitchy, that you can complete the fight but then not be able to get out of the area after you've done it, depending upon how you kill Grimm. So we may, even if we get to that fight, we may end the stream early just so that I can do a couple of playthroughs of the fight and get one that works so that I'm able to leave the area, and that would be where we would pick up with the fight again next week, and then if it glitches out, I can just reload a save to show that it gets us out of that area, because that's the only way to do it, is to keep replaying the fight until you win and it allows you out. So we'll see how much time the stream takes today, and we'll go from there. But for now, why don't we just jump right back in. And again, I apologize. My throat's really scratchy today, so sometimes it's just a force of habit and a reflex for me to clear it. So I'll try and be mindful of it, though. No one needs to hear that on the stream. Okay, so here we are. We have one short rest available to us, and just looking over our inventory, just some minor things to clear up here. Just some cleanup stuff to do. Nothing real serious. So we probably do want to remove that ring and give him Thunderweave. There's no poison in this area that we're going to be dealing with, but since we have it, we might as well just put that on Lae'zel for now. Okay, I think that gets everything ready for what we're going to be doing today. Let's see where we are. Okay, why don't we take some time to split these up here. So now everybody has a potion of fire resistance available to them. There are a lot of areas down here where we're going to be dealing with fire enemies, and we want to be able to have that option to us, depending upon the fight that we're going to get into. So let's go ahead and head up and around. And we will head back to the area that's marked on your map here with the rubble that needs to be blown up. Now, if you remember, we did pick up a second set of explosives. So what we want to do here, we picked up the smoke powder satchel. So we're going to throw one of those here at the cave-in. And you see it drops here, and then we're going to have Gale ignite that with his firebolt cantrip. Now you can see that it doesn't kill it entirely, but that's easy enough to fix. We'll take the second one and throw it again down here. We'll have Gale ignite it. Oh. Okay. So we'll wait for the fire to die down here. And then we will head into the newly opened area. Alright, so here we go. So first thing you'll notice is that there's a pouch down here. It's got some adamantine slag. We learned about that last time. I haven't found a use for adamantine slag in the playthrough, so I'm not going to bother picking it up. And then we do have some skeletons to search here. Okay, and we also have, laying here on the ground, a devil foil mask.
Curious mask. What's it doing here?
So the devil foil mask is simply something that's expensive right now. Something that you can sell later on, so I'm not going to keep it in my inventory. That's not going to be the last one of those that we find in our playthrough. And when you're going through here, you want to take things slow. We're going to get an autosave here. And you don't want to be clicking way out in front of you. For those of you who have missed me saying it a few times previously, you don't want to be clicking way out here and letting your character just run up to that area, because you are going to encounter a lot of traps in this area. And if you're just running along, you're going to trigger those traps as you go. So you can also see, as we enter the ancient temple here, we've already seen some of these areas from down below, and you'll see more of that as we go here. That we're really exploring an upper area here of the Grymforge that we've really been able to see from down below already. So we will loot some valuables here. Right, now we're going to begin to head into the temple itself here. So do our last bit of looting. Okay. Okay, so now you can see some of the large areas that we're going to explore. You can see that this is the skiff that we came in on. This is where we dropped into the area to begin with. This is the other downstairs area that we went around and had the fight in over here. So you can see that this is all just one big connected area here. And from up here now we have a couple of different ways that we can go. So let's take care of a little bit of looting here. And we can pick up a scroll of invisibility. Very, very useful for what we're going to be getting into. And you'll see how that comes into play here in a minute. So we have an Orb of Dark Vision here. I don't need it.
Watch how you go. There's a trap.
One more reason to go slow.
Can't afford to stay idle. Assume.
I'm just going to move everybody back here again real quick.
Never a dull moment.
The Orb of Dark Vision does exactly what it sounds like. I don't need it on my ranger, but you can see it gives you dark vision for 10 turns. There's no real reason to continue with it. If you're not in turn-based combat, the dark vision goes away so quickly that getting it doesn't really help you very much. But if you don't have anybody in your party that has dark vision, then you know it's a way to get it. So we're gonna go ahead and clear out these blast mines. Okay, and now you can see that we have a bridge that's gone, and when you look over here to the other side, you can see that we have some other ways to go over here on this side. So there are actually 2 ways to get over here. You can Misty Step. I have Misty Step. It's available on the boots that I picked up. Also, Shadowheart has the Misty Step amulet on right now, I believe, and you can recover those on a short rest. So I could get both of those characters across here into this area, but it kind of splits your party up if you're going to be doing that. And there's another way to do it, and that way is down here in this area. So we're gonna wait, and we're not gonna cross. There's also a couple of more blast mines over here on this side, where if you Misty Step right into this area, you're just gonna get damaged by the blast mines. So you'd have to Misty Step farther back to miss them. So it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go through and separate the party right now. You certainly can if you'd like. There's just no real need to. So we're gonna move up to this location, and we're going to again split the party here. And the reason for that is because of this long area here. You'll see what I mean as we come in here.
Step carefully.
Okay, so there's a trap here. If you're doing this in a way other than the way I'm doing it, you really want to save every possible moment you can going across this bridge here, or this causeway here. Because if the traps trigger, it is going to kill one of your characters. There's just, even if you have a fire resistance potion taken during that time, it's very, very likely that you're going to end up dead. So the way these traps trigger is, again, check this skeleton. Okay, so perception failed. We're gonna have...
I must keep going.
Okay.
What's that?
So she was able to find it. So there are traps all along the ground here. And if you fail to disarm them, they're going to trigger. And when they trigger, you've got a bad day. So let's see how we do here in going through this. I do have my guidance amulet on, and don't need my intelligence up, but I'll leave it there for now. So we're going to do a disarm. They're all DC 10s, and I have +6 from my dexterity and my smuggler's ring. Adding the guidance cantrip's going to add a 1d4, but that's a 7 to 10, so I can fail this on a 1, 2, 1 or a 2, basically. And you'd be surprised how often that might happen. Okay, so that one is down. So as we go, we're going to be checking out what we can loot along the way. Okay, then you want to move again slowly up to these areas. Okay, so guidance is still active. Okay, very low roll there, but we're still going to be able to pass. Okay. And now we're going to get another perception check here. Okay, there's a trap here.
This place is trapped.
Now there's no activation for that trap here, but if you trigger one of these, everything down the row is going to activate. So you'll see what I mean about that activation here in a second. We're going to skip going down here, because this is the way that we're going to use to continue on through the exploration. So we're going to skip here, and you can see there's another one it looks like here. Okay, so perception failed.
I'm ready. Onward then.
Okay. Then we'll move her completely out of the way. Just in case this trap does trigger, you want to be able to move quickly and only have one character in the danger zone, so to speak. Okay, looks like the game might have... Oh, I see. In her. Well, it's a good thing that I clicked away from her, because I had told her to disarm it, so be very careful, don't make mistakes like I did. Okay, so we're going to add in guidance again. And if you have a Styrian in your party, and he has an 18 dexterity, there's no way for him to fail these except on a natural 1. So again, once we get to this area, let's move a little slower. And you notice that there's a trap trigger here, so we're going to disarm this. Okay, same DC of 10. And then as you move to each side, you're going to get a perception check, and you'll see that these same trapped beacons are on either side. And you can disarm these individually. They just have a much higher DC. I think the DC is 18 or something like that. So here we have an iron key. So it's a quest item, so we're going to pick it up. And we'll continue on across the bridge here. And again, take it carefully. There's no need to go fast. Okay.
What's that?
Okay, guidance is still active. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and cast... About to run out, so we're going to cast Guidance again.
Maya, Fortio.
As we go through here. You can see it doesn't look like there's an activation plate here.
Step carefully. There's a trap.
Okay, but it looks like there is another one here. Okay. Wow. Okay, we got a good roll there. Well, we got a good enough roll to be able to pass it. That's the one number besides a natural one that was going to fail it for us, possibly. So we do have one inspiration left that we can use to do a reroll here, but you really don't want to have to use it on something like this. You want to try and maximize your chance as much as possible of getting it done.
That might be worth a look.
Okay, and this one is not strictly necessary to do. Okay, but it does allow... You can loot that skeleton, as you can see, without actually touching it or triggering it. And then we have the Ornate Iron Fence. Okay, and I actually have not been through here. So we're going to cast the Guidance cantrip again.
Maya, Fortio.
There's a trap right here.
Watch how you go. There's a trap.
Ah, okay. That's what it is. So let's do some looting around the corner here. And we have some bags of rotten food. Searchable skeleton. And an idol of Shar, but it looks like this might be... Okay. Actually, I've never picked that up before. So, good. Let's take a look at what we picked up here. So, the Prophecy Sparks Wall. Okay. So, it's basically clothing that gives you a bonus to armor class as long as you have lightning charges. So, nothing really that we can worry about here. If you had chosen the Spell Sparker as the lightning charge weapon instead of the jolt shooter, and Gale or somebody was using it, then this would be much more useful. But for now, he's not going to be in a position to get lightning charges, so it doesn't really have a use for it. And as clothing, so it's got a low armor class, so just gonna get rid of it, send it to camp for now. Okay, now the Idol of Shar here, I'm kind of interested. The lever, I assume, just opens the gate. Yeah, I think it probably just opens the gate. But that would be an interesting question of, can you get here? So, yeah, you might have been able to Misty Step from here up to here. Yeah, you would have. So, you might have been able to Misty Step from here up to this ledge, loot the chest, and then open the gate and come out this way. as an alternate way to get into here. What I'm more interested in is what's going to happen if I pull this out of here. So, again, I'm old. I remember Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, pulling something off of a pedestal. Okay. Didn't trigger any traps.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Okay. So, I can take that and I can give that to Gale because he's going to be selling it. And now you can see we have a ladder here that takes you down here. So, that's where we're going to go. And this was the reason that you explore down this far, is because you have access to that chest and looting various things down here. But this is really the only reason to come down this far. You don't have to. You don't want to. We're just going to go ahead and loot all of these down here. Okay, so nice. Okay. Then coming around to this side, we have some more barrels and crates down here that we can loot. Okay, holding Alt, nothing else on the ground. So you can see right where we are. We're right above where we started the live stream today. So now we're going to head back up. And we're going to bring everybody up to this location and group us all up.
No one stopped me yet.
Okay, and now we can come down the ladder. We do have a heavy chest over here that we can take a look at. Okay, and you see that we have a couple of levers here. And we can also look over this way. Another real easy way to tell what possible paths you have open to you is to go hide. And then as you drag your cursor around, you'll be able to see the path that your character would take to get there, so you'll know if there's an actual path to get there or not. So if you can't tell if you can actually get past this, you can just go into hide. And got it. So the levers, what do they do? Well, fairly straightforward. These you can actually use and see kind of what they do. So this one on the left raises it up and down. The one on the right sends it across to this area over here. Okay. And then brings it back. So what you can do is you can jump one of your characters here. Okay, and everybody joins you. And now you can use a ranged attack to trigger these. Okay, so if you go up, I don't think that there's anything up. Yeah, I don't think that there is. So we're just going to bring this back down. And we're going to use it to send us across. Okay, and then here, once you're on this side, you can jump to get off of it and your characters will follow you over. Right? So now you're over here in this area where what we were looking at earlier, but you're all grouped up together now, which is what you want to be. So we can search some stuff down here, see if we have anything to loot.
Something good here, I hope.
Okay, holding Alt, just checking around. Okay. And now we're going to
Breathe deep and
head up the ladder here. And as you can see, this is now the opposite side of the bridge. Oh. Okay, nothing there. We can hold Alt, just checking, and we're going to toggle group mode again, just so that our characters don't randomly start walking around trying to stay in formation. Okay. And again, you can see this is the other side of the bridge. If you move up a little farther, you can see that we have 2 blast mines over here. So if you'd have Misty stepped into this area from the other side, you'd have run right into these 2. So we will clear them out just to be on the safe side. Get everybody together again, and we'll head down the stairs over here. Again, take your time. There's no need to go fast and blast through this.
bloody tracks. Quite small too. A gnome found some trouble here.
Okay, so yeah, you can see we got some
Bloody tracks. I see tracks there. Or footprints. That's worth a look. Bloody tracks. Quite small too. A gnome found some trouble here. Bloody tracks.
Okay, and it
Quite
doesn't
small,
look too
A
promising.
gnome found some trouble here.
The gnome came up to this corner. And there are some arrows here, which are interesting. I wonder... I've gone into this area before, but never found anything useful here. I'm just checking to see... Okay, it doesn't look like I can shoot anything here. I didn't know if the arrows were a hint that you need to be shooting something from here, but one way or another, it looks like the gnome's footprints lead right up to the edge here, which doesn't really bode well for them. But yeah, just holding... I don't think this arrow does anything.
Bloody tracks.
Yeah. No.
Quite small too. A gnome found some trouble here.
Okay, so now we can head back up, and you can, if you stop here, remember, this is where we fought the ochre, down here is where we fought those ochre jellies. So yeah, you can kind of take a walk back through time to the different areas that you've been. Because we're really just above all those areas now. Okay, so continuing on here. You can see that we have a plaque here.
Come, all who are weary, sleep and forget.
Okay, doing some more searching. We have double iron doors here. We did pick up the iron key from up there, remember? So that unlocks that door for us. Okay, and what we're going to do is, whoops, we're going to hide as we go in here. You don't really have to at this point. Actually, I think we Well, let's
Let's be on my way.
continue on doing what we're doing. We'll search the skeleton here. I think we want to continue on farther down. So I'm going to split the group again. Come up here, and I'm going to jump across. You don't have to. Follow the path. It could lead you across there. Right here. So holding Alt, we have a potion of fire resistance over here. Skeleton we can search. We have some bookshelves as well. Okay, we've got the Harper key. We're going to need this. And if you read the letter, it will tell you that she revealed the location of a stockpile and a code word, maybe. Lux Splenda here. So if you pass an investigation check.
Lux Splenda. Give a light spell a try. That should get us into that chest.
Okay. If you pass the investigation check, then you learn there that Lux Splenda is telling you that you need to use a light spell when you find that chest. And that chest is now popped up on our map here. And we can go look at it on our way out of the Grymforge. We're just not going to get to it right now. Oh. Okay, we can group everybody up. And again, I don't think... No, we don't. We don't have to be in hide yet. So... holding Alt, just kind of checking around. We have another skeleton we can loot over here. And more on this side. Okay, now up here, we have some weapons and a weapons rack we can interact with.
These are Sharan weapons. I would recognize the Night Singer's blades anywhere. What's hiding here?
Just an interesting piece of lore to go along with everything here. Okay, and again, down here, where we went through this area previously to get all the way back up here toward that last fight that we had. So we can now look up here. Holding Alt, checking around. And we get a shield mold. This is one of 6 item molds that you can use to forge items at the Adamantine Forge. They're hidden throughout the inner Grymforge area here once you pass the rubble, and they all weigh quite a bit. Now to shield or to forge an item, you need the mold and you need a piece of mithril ore. Now there's only 2 mithril ore veins in the early access so far. So you can go to the wikis and read what all of the items that you can, what all the 6 items do that you can forge. And the other molds you can just send to your camp for now. Keep the 2 that you want to use, and then the rest of them just send to your camp if you're not going to use them. The shield mold I'm not going to use. I'm going to be picking up the splint mail and the scimitar molds, but the others you want to keep because in the full version of the game, maybe these will have you can find more mithril ore and be able to use them to craft the rest of the items. So don't leave them, but then don't necessarily carry them around either, because they weigh a lot. They weigh 10 pounds each, and that will very, very quickly overload your characters. So now down here, you can see we have a couple more things that we can loot. Love the single solitary gold pieces that you find. Then we have the Canticles of the Dark Mistress. Basically just a poem about the Shar worshippers. So you pick it up, you can then immediately transfer it to Gale. Okay, so now we have another locked door here. And when you open this door, you're going to immediately get into a fight. Okay? So you want to have some options available to you, because like I say, as soon as you do that, you're going to trigger a fight. And the best way to do that, I found, is to be invisible when you do it. But it's also locked. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to continue on, and we're going to come back and do that here in a second. Okay, so we've already looted these two here. We're going to continue on down this walkway. And again, holding Alt periodically, taking it slow, seeing what we have available to us. And I'm just sending everything to Gale to start off with. Loading him up because he's the one that's going to be selling to these. So now you can see we have a way to go here, but it dead ends, and you might be able to get a character to jump over here, but you don't need to. With this being where it is, you can come back over here, get onto this thing, and then jump onto this area down here. You can see there's another mold sitting here. We're going to deal with that here in a minute. So now the other area that we can go is over here onto this side. Okay. You can kind of see where it's taking you there. Okay, you can see there is a gilded chest over there. And you can see we're getting into some lava areas here. So when you get into areas like this, especially downstairs, you want to be very careful in how you're maneuvering your characters, because their need to stay in formation trumps their need to stay out of the lava, which is just incredibly stupid. And lava does a lot of damage. I think it's 3d10 or maybe 6d10 of damage whenever you walk into it. So it can get really bad really fast. So okay, so we have a map of Moonhaven up here. Just basically another war map. You can pick it up, and again, you'll end up sending it to Gale. Now you have a mirror here. I haven't found any use for it so far. You can't pick it up. You can't throw it. You can use it, but it doesn't seem to do anything. So I don't worry about it for now. I'm going to toggle group mode and head down here and kind of look at this black.
In the beginning came morning, then night. Two sisters clashed, one dark and one light.
Okay. Now we can head over here to the gilded chest. Open that up. Okay. And now from here, you can see that we can jump over to this area. And if you look, This is the area where we had the fight with Nier. Okay. So there are multiple ways to get into this area here, depending upon the strength of your characters being able to make the jump and all of that sort of stuff. But there are multiple ways to get into here. And as we showed already, the Misty Step option. But again, you're not going to be able to get all of your characters over with Misty Step. It just depends on how many have that spell available to them to be able to. Okay. So now we're getting into some really gorgeous looking areas of the map. Okay, so we have a skeleton over here. Whoops. Okay, which one is this? The scimitar mold, so I am going to keep that. So I'm going to put that on Lae'zel. And the Dark Justiciar helm.
Forging. It belongs to an equally elaborate forge, I expect.
I'm going to send that to Shadowheart. If you look at her inventory right now, she's wearing a helmet that gives her proficiency in wisdom throws, saving throws. She doesn't really need that. This gives her +1 to saving throws whenever she's obscured. So whenever she's in a darkened area, she's going to get +1 to saving throws when she's attacked. So more useful right now, just walking around with it. And it's also Dark Justiciar, which she loves. Just a little bit of role playing there, I guess, to go along with it. So she's now wearing the helm and the mail, which I'm sure she's happy about. So now we again have 2 levers here, and you can see we have the same type of walkway here. So the one on the left. Okay. You can see it moves it forward. Back. The one on the right raises it up and down. Okay, so we're going to bring it back to its start position. Because that's where we're going to need it to be. Actually, we're going to need it to be up in the start position here. Okay. Just like that. So then when you're here, actually, I think let me look. Okay, yeah, you want this to be up. Yeah. So that you can get a character to jump onto this, which can take you over to this area. Into this area. Now, what we're going to do here is, if you... Well, we'll just head back over the bridge and we'll talk about it when we get there. Okay. Okay. So, we're going to head back out this way. And we're going to head back to this fight over here that we bypassed. And we're going to kind of pre-position our characters here to be able to get the most out of this fight. Okay, so we're going to break the group here. And we're going to use our ranger to trigger this.
Assume nothing.
We're going to have
Quickly then.
Lae'zel up here. Gale we can leave right there, and Shadowheart we're going to put
Let's
up
try this
here.
way.
And then we're going to hide
Calm and quiet, that's the way.
everybody else.
Unseen.
And we're gonna go unlock this door.
Wonder what's past this.
Actually, we're just gonna click on it and see what happens, but I am going to use my invisibility spell. This lasts until long rest, and it's a concentration spell, so it's going to disappear whenever I concentrate on something else. But I am going to use it. Okay, the door is locked. We're gonna lockpick it. You see we've got a DC of 18. We've got plenty of thieves' tools, though. Love the natural ones. We're not going to use our inspiration. We've got plenty of thieves' tools to do this. Need a 2 on the roll. Okay, good. And I should have cast invisibility after I did that, because I cast guidance to give me the bonus. And
Can't risk being an open view.
okay, see if we can trigger this door. Okay, so we didn't get out of the way in time. The Hellsboar are dashing, which means they can't attack. Okay, and then I got my turn. All right. So we have 3 Hellsboar, which aren't that bad. They're only 14 hit points. And then we have a Maragon Legionnaire, which is a fiend. It's got 32 hit points, which is right here. So that's the one that we're going to end up wanting to focus on as we go here. But for now, let's kind of look at our other characters and see where we have our detection cones. Okay. Because what we really want to end up doing is trying to get some of our other characters into the fight a little bit. Gale doesn't have any second level spells. We're going to be utilizing the rest of these spells here before we have a long rest. So we're going to kind of get him into a spot where see if he can cast. So the target is too far there.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if we can get him into a spot where he might be able to cast this Scorching Ray on everybody. That was interrupted here. Okay, so we can cast it at this point. So, but what we need to do is get him up here. Alright, we'll use his Scorching Ray to cast one of these at everybody and get him into the combat. And it wasn't going to kill any of them, but it was going to damage all of them if it hit. And that's going to allow Jorvalin's Colossus Slayer ability to kick in. So let's see if we can take out these other 2 Hellsboar here.
Better tread carefully.
Okay, so with our crossbow, got a better than average, or an exactly 50-50 shot to do enough damage to kill it. On this one here. So let's just go ahead and take that shot. Okay, so it didn't. It rolled the absolute minimum roll. So let's see if we can get some. Yeah, this is guaranteed to kill. Okay. And now we have our ranger who can cast Hunter's Mark. I was hoping to be able to kill both of them because see if I move, I'm going to provoke an attack of opportunity here from this one, and I'm not going to be able to kill it probably from this location. At 11 hit points, I can do 5 to 12 with it. Even with the sword, 6 to 16. Maybe I can here. That's still, again, a 50-50 shot whether or not it's going to kill. Okay, so it did. So now I can move out of the way.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Okay, perfect. I'll take the crossbow shot. I just don't want to be in melee range of that and the Hellsboar at the same time. So I think what we're going to do, we can't... He's going to trigger before Lae'zel does, so we want to focus on him. Try and get rid of him. This might kill him. Yes, it did. Okay. So now we can focus on Hellsboar here. Great, critical miss. Nice, love it.
Where do I go from here?
Okay, we'll reapply Hunter's Mark. Okay, so now I can get Lae'zel
Fury, I am death.
to make an attack here. Okay, that causes some damage. That now allows Jorvalin's Colossus Slayer strike to hit. Perfect. Okay. So, the Hellsboar never have anything on them. You can search them all and see. But the Amerigon Legionnaire has another Devilfoil mask, which again, you can sell, and Amerigon Halberd. It's basically just a Halberd +1 is all it really is. But certainly pick it up and then head into this room here.
It's been a long day. I need to rest soon.
It is true. You see there's an ochre jelly that's been killed. It looks like it's been sacrificed. Truly. Then we have an opulent chest on this side. Okay. Now the Fire Stoker is actually really good. It's a hand crossbow, which means you can dual wield these. So if you have another hand crossbow, you can be doing a lot of ranged damage with it. It does 1d6 plus 4 piercing damage by itself, but then if the target is on fire, it does an additional 1d4 of damage. That's not as much damage as I can do with my bow right now, but if I was dual wielding these crossbows, then that would be a different story. So I'm going to go ahead and send this to camp. I can't use it right now, so, but maybe I'll think about using it here in a little bit. So hold Alt, you can see there's now a rusted key here. I'm going to pick up the potion of fire resistance first. Another Devilfoil mask.
Another mask. The Maragon's leader might still be around here.
And then the key is laying
Always
here
room
on
for
the
more.
ground. Okay, so looking at our inventory again, send this map to Gale, Devilfoil mask to Gale, and we picked up another rusted key. Okay, and there's nothing else for us to look at in here. Now we can head back out here into this area where we were to begin with. Okay. Now what we're gonna do here is send our ranger on kind of by herself. No, don't want to jump. What happened to Gale? Okay. Okay. Great. So, going to break the group, and I'm gonna send Shar. Whoops, didn't click on Shadowheart. I'm gonna send Shadowheart and Lizelle back down to, ironically enough, where kind of Gale is sitting right now. And I'm going to jump my ranger down here onto this bridge. Okay.
Enough waiting.
So I'm gonna group these two up. I do not want
and well, in it.
her in this. Okay. So I'm gonna take these two and I'm gonna run them back
proceeding
to the waypoint, which is down below us, and I'd prefer to get there without having to fall completely off the cliff like Gale did. Okay, so I'm just gonna run them back there real quick, and you'll see why I do this. As you can see, this is the rubble that we came through. And with Gale being at such low hit points, I'm going to... I could just click over here and let him pathfind over here, but again, I don't trust it with him being at such low hit points. Okay, so those two are sitting here by the rune circle. So now I'm over here looking at Gale.
Adventure awaits.
Because Gale was an idiot. Okay, and now I can
action, not reaction.
group these three up together at this location, and I'm going to spend this time. Gale has some extra potions of healing here. I'm just going to have him utilize a couple.
A long way to go.
Shadowheart still has a few of her spells left, so I'm just going to... Got two more I can really use. Okay, so he's now good. So let's go back to my ranger here, and we're going to check the skeleton. Nothing. We are going to pick up this longsword mold, at least temporarily, but we're not going to craft the longsword, so we're just going to send that to the king. And we're going to continue making our way down this bridge, and you'll see kind of why I split the group as we get farther down here. Okay, another skeleton to loot. And crazy enough, you can still send these items to people who are nowhere near you. Probably something that shouldn't be allowed, but... Okay, so now you come to the end of this bridge. You see you can't go anywhere else here. What you can do is like we saw earlier, you can jump up to here. The problem is that not everybody can make this jump. Get up here, and even if they do, if they miss that jump, they're going to make that they're gonna, or something happens when you're trying to jump everybody over there and somebody misses, they again take that fall damage. So there's no need for everybody to be up here. You'll see in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and trigger this lever, and I can't remember which one makes me go up and which one makes me go down. Okay. Don't need that. And if you don't know how to do that, if you hold control, it will automatically initiate a ranged attack. You don't have to click your ranged attack button here, you can just hold control. So this is the lever that we want to shoot at. And it's going to take us over here. And we can again now jump down onto this side. Okay. So we are going to hide here real quick, and you'll see why here in a second. So we're going to continue on down here, and you can see we have some detection cones that are popping up, and you can see we have some animated armors up here. Sorry about that, accidentally hit the mic. And you can see that they are hostile right now. So we again want to be careful with this encounter. But the first thing that we want to do is jump down here to this low ground here. You can see that there's a waypoint over here. Okay. So we discovered the waypoint. So if we travel through it, we can select the Grymforge. Everybody's here. I can group everybody up. I can travel back through it to the Ancient Forge. And now everybody is here. Okay? It's just a safer, easier way to get everybody together into this spot, in my opinion. Okay? So I'm gonna group hide everybody here. I'm gonna split the group. Come back up here to this location, being mindful of the detection cones. We have a mace mold here, which again, I'm not going to use. Some tongs down here. So I'm going to send this to camp. And we have some skeletons that we can loot. Okay, we have a Dark Justiciar Mask, which gives you +1 to Intimidation. It's nice for interactions and that sort of stuff where you want to intimidate somebody, but it's a very situational thing. And we're just going to be sending these, and we can read this book. Just talks about how the Justiciars were looking for adamantine. Head over here, there's a forge plaque over here, which we can look at.
Centuries of blazing heat have smoothed away the plaque's inscription.
This is ultimately where we're going to end up going. This is the Adamantine Forge down here. Okay. Now we have some other things that we can look at around here, and again, you see how pretty this level actually is. Okay, and if you remember, again, this is where the near fight was. We were over here, so you could probably Misty Step from here over to this location again. But again, just one more thing that we were going to follow the on-foot path to get over here rather than using Misty Step and splitting our group. Okay, so we're going to group everybody up. Okay, head up here and we can look at this overlook.
Forge your blade in the fires and raise it in the Mistress's name.
Okay. So we do have another skeleton we can loot here. And I'm going to split the group just to make sure I'm taking control over one character easily here, because we do have another mold here, and this splint mold is the armor piece that I'm going to craft. Okay, so we're going to pick that up, and we're going to send that to Lae'zel to carry. And another antitoxin. Can read this note. It's talking about nearby mithril veins are near completion. Okay, and it also talks about something that was being made by Brother Salluve called Grimm, or the place it was made, which is the Grymforge. So when you go down to the forge, you can expect that there's something called Grimm that's going to be down there, and yes, there absolutely is. Okay, and again, you can kind of see how pretty it is over here. The game is really visually stunning as you play through it. Okay, so we can group everybody up. So we have some bookshelves that we can loot here, and some vases. Camp supplies, always good. A heavy chest, a lot of gold in it. More books that we can loot. And then we have the forge construction log here on the desk. And this talks about some operations that it went through in constructing it, but it basically tells you that there's a hammer that goes into, that hits into some molds, and it'll work with iron. It wasn't working for adamantine, but it might work for mithril. So it's basically telling you that the hammer is going to need some sort of alloy to go into a mold, and then the hammer hits it and it forges it. So it basically tells you how the system works. If you're not reading any wikis or anything like that, it basically gives you an idea about how things function. Okay, and I'm also keeping an eye out for something here as I go. Sorry, I'm just orienting myself here real quick. Okay. So this is going to take us down toward the Grymforge area, which we are definitely going to go, but we also do have a fight here in front of us. So what we're going to do is split the group here. We're going to put Gale and Shadowheart here around the corner. We're going to leave Lae'zel back here.
Not one false move.
Quite a bit.
Does this count as adventuring?
And we're going to use a healing potion here, because I'm all out of short, or I've got one short rest left. And I'm going to get my familiar. Okay, and I'm gonna hide. Raven. And I'm going to initiate combat with my ranger. So I need to get my ranger into a point where they can shoot. Now, when you look, we also have an animated armor here. Okay. And if you look, it's a melee version. We have an animated armor up here that has a crossbow on its back, one that has a crossbow on its back, and one that's a melee version. These melee versions also carry longbows. So, don't think that you're going to get away from any of them, so to speak. They're all going to have the same option to be able to hit. So, let's see what happens. I do also want to kind of pay attention to where my character might have to move to take any of these shots. Yeah, gonna have to move up to there. Gonna have a 50% chance to hit. Move up to there, and again have a 50% chance to hit. And this one would be much closer, so I think what we're gonna do is move over this way. Maybe we can get into a position. I don't think this is going to be close enough. No, target's too far. Okay, so this is just in, just outside normal range. Move a little bit closer. Target's still obscured, and that's why we have disadvantage on the hit. But we are getting advantage from hiding, so it's just a 50-50 shot to see if it hits. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we did get a hit, and our stealth worked. Alright, so we got first advantage. Good. And it triggered all 4 of them. So let's go ahead and reapply Hunter's Mark here. We'll take a shot. Great. We missed. And now we're going to move ourselves back here out of the way and get everything closer to what's going to happen here. We're going to let them all move up. They're all probably going to take some ranged shots here. So what we'll do with our Raven is we will move the Raven up. So maybe the Raven will take one of those ranged shots instead. Then we will just skip everybody's turn for now. Okay, so he's dashing, which is good. He's not going to be able to shoot at me. This one's dashing as well. Good. Now what happens with this one down here at the bottom? It's probably going to move and then be able to get a shot off. Okay, and it took a shot at the Raven and missed. Alright, so good. That was exactly what we wanted. So my Raven is now here. You cannot blind these targets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly right in between these two. And now I'm just going to take a 40% chance to get some damage on one of them. Perfect. So now that target is not at full hit points, so Colossus Slayer can kick in on my Ranger as we go forward. So, but I am going to take the shot back here. I believe, yes, 36% chance. We got a 60% chance back here. Gotta move forward a little bit to take it. 1 hit point left. That's too bad. Okay, so now I'm gonna move back again.
Time to press ahead.
Right, now I'm gonna end my turn. Let them move forward. Oh yeah. Okay, so it took a shot at my Raven and hit it. Dashing, good. This one's going to do a ranged attack, and it missed. This one's dashing. Okay, good. Alright, so first thing that we want to do is get rid of this one, but I think what we're going to do is see if we can get
Cloak and dagger, my favorite.
Shadowheart into this fight. It's got a 45% chance with that. Got a 50% chance with Guiding Bolt. What does the cantrip do? Let's use the cantrip instead. And it made its saving throw. Right, perfect.
What?
Okay, so I think what we will end up doing then is using Gale here.
Tormentor.
To just end up killing it.
My patience
And we'll get Lae'zel. Question is can Lae'zel make it around that corner? Don't know. Let's see. Okay. And so I'm going to get her right up next to this one, and I'm going to do a menacing attack. 75% chance to hit here. Outstanding.
No choice but to keep going.
Okay. Then I can reapply Hunter's Mark here. And I'm going to move in with the Sword of Screams. Okay. We'll end the turn. Okay, good. We're splitting the damage around here, and it tried to move, got an attack of opportunity, and we still missed it. So a 50% chance to hit here, or a 36% chance to hit. I'm going to go this way. Miss. Great. Perfect. Okay, might as well get off balance in there. Okay, so let's use Guiding Bolt here. That's only 25% chance because it's obscured. 75% chance here. Perfect.
I'm fury. I am death.
I don't need to dash to get in close enough. Okay.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
So now we can do some searching. You're just going to find basic weapons on them.
Moving ahead.
Nothing extraordinary. Okay, so we can move up and we can continue searching through some other things, and you can see up here we have a scale mail mold. We're again not going to use the scale mail mold. The scale mail +1 that you have is better in armor class than this one is. So it doesn't have the special effect that goes along with it, but I don't think the special effect is worth losing the armor class point for it. Okay, yeah, before we go down there, we're going to head up here. And we have a Dark Justiciar mail. Same exact thing that Shadowheart's wearing right now. So Nothing out of the ordinary here. And I'm just looking. There is something that I've been missing in my playthroughs, and I want to make sure that I get it. So I'm making sure I keep track of my coordinates here, because I've been missing it all this time and want to make sure I still get it. So now we're going to head down here, trying to get some of these hit points back with our last short rest. Gale can move up here, so he can join the group too. Okay. So, down here is where we're going to explore next, and you can see we've got this shiny bit of rock over here. Okay.
Anything of use?
Okay, so now from this point on, you really want to split your group and just deal with one character at a time. Like I say, lava, 10d6, so it's not 6d10, it's 10d6. So yeah, it hurts. It hurts really, really bad. Okay, so a couple of different ways for us to progress here, but again, if you go into hiding, you can see the path, and if the path gets red, like it is at the end there, that's going to be a problem for you. Okay, so coming across here doesn't look like it's a problem. Okay. Sorry, just looking around, getting my bearings here. Okay, so looks like I'm still fine moving up here. Still fine moving around here. Okay, and now I'm into this area here. Okay, perception failed. We'll deal with that here in a second, but for now, we can shoot. You just attack the mithril vein. It blows up and it leaves mithril ore behind.
But that'll fit in my pack.
So you do want to pick that up. Okay, we didn't pass that check. So, do want to come back here with another character and see if we can get them. Pass it.
Got to keep moving.
So she's gonna cast guidance on herself. Perception failed. Great.
Oh, I have the magic touch.
I think on my last playthrough, I failed all of these perception checks as well. So I don't know if this one is just harder to see than normal.
You need some support.
One with the weave.
I'm probably going to fail all of these again.
Without delay.
Okay. So I think that right here, you see it? The patch of dirt's a little different. I think there's just a hidden dirt mound there. I'm not entirely sure because I've just never been able to find it.
All right.
So it's kind of odd, but I think that's what it is. Oh. So now what we're going to do is do the same thing, just in... Actually, what I'm going to do is save this. Because if the pathfinding gets stupid, then I'm just going to reload it. That's just what it is, because I'm not dealing with the game's horrifically bad pathfinding walking me into lava
This.
as
No.
something that I need to just accept.
Blacketh's will be done. One true way.
And you see a bunch of stuff that says ready to burst. We'll deal with that here in a second.
Wits and blades, always sharp. Onward in her name.
Okay. So you can see down here we have a lava elemental. It's got two status effects. It's got Magmatic Regeneration, which means while it's standing in lava, it's going to regenerate hit points, and it regenerates a lot of hit points. It's also got Magmatic Disturbance, which is when you see this ready to burst, that means that there are these lava bubbles, and it is causing those lava bubbles to be there. And if you stand near them, then you're going to take fire damage from them as they burst. So,
Still breathing.
if you can,
Despite everything.
and we will try it from here, see if you have a shot on the lava elemental. Now, as you hit it, it's going to continually heal itself. Okay? But if you cause enough damage, it will realize that you're there and you will enter into combat with it. And it can't reach you from down there. So as long as you have ranged shots on it, you can keep attacking him. So what we're going to do is just leave my ranger up there for now, and we're just going to see if I can get a shot on it when it comes around the corner here. You can see it's right here. Okay, so path is interrupted. Path is interrupted 95%, so we're going to take a shot. And keep shooting. Okay, and see, it went into combat with you. Okay, and it went into hiding, but it is not standing on magma here. Okay, I can't hit it from there. It can't hit me from there either. But it's also not regenerating. Okay, so I'm going to move into a spot here. Path is interrupted. I can't shoot it from there, and that's fine. I shouldn't have been able to regenerate there. It's not standing. Oh, it is stand. It found the one little corner where it can stand in lava. Okay. So I might not be able to make it work this time. We'll see. Yeah, path is interrupted. See if... Yeah, it's too far the magic missile projectile's path is interrupted as well. So
I won't give in.
unless he moves, we're not going to be able to make it work. Nope, and he's not going to move. So he hasn't done this before. He normally goes into a position somewhere over here. I haven't seen him move into this position before, but I'm not going to be able to continue this fight with him at this particular location. So this is going to get kind of interesting. Let's see what happens if I end my turn, if he moves out of there. Okay, he is going to move out of there. This is what I see him do most of the time. Okay, so now I can continue to take hits at him, and what you want to be able to do here is
First step is
out DPS his healing. And you can do that if you get everybody involved here. Okay, so now I'm going to try and see what happens if Gale casts his magic missile here. Want to make sure he's not moving to do this. He's not. Good. Okay, so now he's down to half his health. And that didn't trigger combat from him, so can I get a crossbow shot? Okay, so that did trigger his combat. And it put everybody into combat as well, it looks like. So... Alright, so we just want to out DPS his healing in the lava. So from here, and see if I can move her up and see if a guiding bolt will hit. Looks like it will. This has got to be level 2, which is fine by me. Alright. So now he's going to get some DPS, or get some health back here. Alright, so he got 30. That was a big roll for him, actually. On his hit points back. So it looks like I can move here, and I don't think I'm going to be standing in the lava.
Here we go again.
Okay, good. Gonna end that turn. We're gonna see what we have here as far as scrolls go from him. Does he have any guiding bolt scrolls left? I don't know if he does. Doesn't look like it. Does have a Melf's acid arrow here.
This one.
Okay. His turn. Now we can get Lae'zel in here and see if Lae'zel can get... Try a menacing attack ranged on him.
Taste my fury.
Okay. Let's see, we've got him down to 11. Okay, so we're basically out DPSing his heal. And this, with a 98% chance to hit, hopefully it doesn't, it goes 5 to 30. Hopefully it doesn't roll low. Alright. So it did kill him. Right? So that's a way, and now you can see that the lava bubbles aren't there anymore. So everything calms down once he's done. And now that we're still really close to this lava, I'm going to take some care to kind of get everybody out of the way here.
One true way.
Let's move. can't slow down.
Yeah. See? This is what upsets me.
Indolence breeds madness.
This stupid pathfinding.
An efficient path.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Just upsets me. It's horrifically bad. We're gonna take a long rest now anyway. So hopefully
Path lies before me.
I can get her back across here without dying. It's so stupid. It's one of the things about this game that I really don't like. See, when they turn around, they kind of step off to the side anyway. So it kind of screws the pathfinding up even when they're trying to do that. So it's just not good at all.
Let's get going.
Okay, so we're going to group everybody up and now we can head back up here to the top. And we're going to end up going down there
Never
here in a
wanted
little
the easy
bit.
path.
But right here, we're going to take our long rest. We're desperately in need of it. And we have another fight coming up that we want to be able to deal with also. Let's go ahead and save before we take our long rest. Right. Okay, so nothing that I'm really interested in taking care of in here. I don't think we have any more dialogue options.
Speak.
Oh, we can get rid of this
So
one.
I did, and he served his use. Most enthusiastically, I might add. I may even avail myself of his talents again, should he keep his fangs off my flesh.
Well, glad she had a good evening.
A private word would be
There
nice.
might be one with Gale here,
How
though.
can I help?
Nope, there's not. Okay, and again, just making sure that we've cleaned out all the dialogue options.
May the darkness protect you.
Okay, nothing there.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
Nothing new there, and last is Will.
Well met.
These just haven't reset. They're the same things. What we're going to do is just go over to the Traveler's
What's in
Chest,
here?
get some camp supplies out. So that's 15. And 9 is 24. 29. 39. 40. Okay, all back and ready here. So now we're going to head down to the Grymforge area down here, but we're going to make a couple of stops along the way. The first one I'm going to do is I'm going to break the group here. Okay, and when you head down into this area,
Don't want to draw any attention.
you can see we have another mithril vein over here. So we want to go over there and we want to pick that up.
Light on my feet.
However, going over here is going to trigger a fight. Okay, so we're going to get an autosave. That's good. We'll use that in case something glitches out. Okay, it's also good to have your invisibility here. Okay, and it automatically moved me out of my hide because I'm not going to allow you to hide through this.
Should mind my step.
And Pathfind. Okay. And what I'm going to do is take one of these potions of fire resistance. Okay, and that lasts until your long rest. I think it triggers once I get here. I don't think I can hide. No. Okay. So you got 4 magma methods, and you get surprised, which means they're all going to get attacks on you. You can't do anything about it. Okay. So now you can see I've taken quite a few hits here. So what I'm going to do in my case is I'm going to go invisible. Okay, I want to get back out of this fight right now. I could probably bring everybody else that's up there into the fight and get them and win this, but I want to back out of it since I've taken a lot of damage here. I want to back out of it, and to do that, I can use the invisibility. See what happens. Okay, you see, I go invisible, and they heal themselves back up, and
Light on my feet.
just kind of hang out. Okay. So now all right. And now I'm in a spot where I have the high ground. I can still make attacks against some of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to heal back up a little bit because I have a lot of healing potions that I can use. And now we're going to take this shot again, and we're going to start things over from here where I'm not necessarily surrounded by methods. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get this first shot off here. Good. His concentration's broken now, so his heat metal spell is no longer there. So I'm going to go ahead and trigger this one. Can I get a little bit closer? Okay, so it's still outside normal range at that location. Not entirely sure why, but we'll take the shot anyway. Okay, stealth was successful, so just keep shooting until you get into combat. Alright. And you can see what also happens is that more methods spawned. Now, magma methods can fly as a free action. So they have the option to fly from here up to here as a free action and get right up next to you. So now I have the opportunity to bring other people into this fight.
Choice.
Okay, so I'm going to put Gale in hiding just so I can see the detection cones here. I'm going to move him into a position here where I can use his magic missile spell. And I want to use the one that's here to do this. I'm going to cast 2 here. I'm going to cast a third one here. Okay, that should kill this one. It did. When you'll notice that when lava methods die, they explode and they cause fire damage around them. That's why I drank that potion as well. Oh, and it did put everybody else into combat. That's kind of unfortunate. It is what it is. So now I can apply Hunter's Mark.
Esprit.
And I can take the shot. Kill that one. And now I've got 3 left. Trying to try and move out of the way here.
One day, I'll catch a break.
Okay. And end my turn. So it's going to be able to fly. We'll see if they actually fly to get up here or not. Alright, they didn't. So I can move Shadowheart into a position here.
On I go.
We'll take an 85% shot. That's good. I love it. It wouldn't be Dungeons and Dragons without an 85% shot missing. Okay, so I would prefer not to use any of his magic missile spells here to do this if I can avoid it. So I've got a 72% chance to hit here. Nice. Okay.
I will ascend.
Now I can move Zell up. Actually, let's dash. Get her close enough. See if she can kill this one. Good. Now I don't have to use my ranger's
Blood comes
shot
easy these days.
on them. We're going to try and keep them a little spaced out here. So we're going to now reapply Hunter's Mark. Actually, first, can we hit here? Or path is... Okay, so path's not interrupted, just barely. So we can hit it, so we'll reapply Hunter's Mark. See if we can get a kill here. Oh, one short. Okay, so they're going to get 2 attacks on us here. Interesting. Okay. So it did cast Heat Metal on me. That puts me at disadvantage, which is the side effect of that. So... not going to be able to kill it with that, which is a good thing. Oh. Okay. Thanks.
No gloom, all doom.
Okay. Critical hit there. Now, can she move? No, she's going to trigger attack of opportunity, an attack of opportunity when she makes this attack. But there's nothing to do about it. Just got to go ahead and do it, and she's going to have to take the collateral damage because of it. It blows up. Okay. Wasn't too bad, though. And might as well do this. We can get this back on a short rest. If she can make an attack down here. You'd have to move back around to be able to do it. Can she jump down there? She can. She can jump to here. Now, take this shot. Perfect. Alright. So, not 100% optimal, but not too bad either. So we'll let this fire surface disappear here. And then we'll group everybody up and we will head down this way. Okay.
Still alive, so that's progress.
And she can use another potion of healing here just to get some of it back.
Wonder if the gods are watching
And
me.
we can loot the magma mephits. Sorry, I forgot. The mephits are all going to have an agate that they can, or some sort of stone, a jewel you can pick up. Okay, so I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna make sure I jump way the heck down here. Nobody messes that up. Okay. Then we're back down around here where we were. I'm gonna split the group here, and I'm gonna continue on just with my ranger. So again, we can manage the pathfinding down here. Okay, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to loot this. I'm going to save here because, again, if some stupid pathfinding thing leads me into doom here.
Out of sight, out of mind. On my way.
I'm just going to reset it. So supposedly there's nothing red here. Everybody can see there's no red here. Alright. So where is that Mephit that died? Oh, it's right. Okay. Now again, no red on that path. Alright. Now we're good. So we don't have to hide anymore. There's nothing to hide from down here. I was just doing it to check out the path. Okay, got our Melf's acid arrow back. That's good. And we can read the history of the Grymforge here. It's basically saying that the Grymforge was going to be used to forge weapons for the Dark Justiciars. Oh. Now, just like the previous Mithril Vein, we can just attack this one. A huge dramatic explosion that doesn't cause you any damage. There's another Mithril ore and a potion of fire resistance here. There's also a Sharan registry here, which basically just has a list of everybody who was part of this particular enclave. So you can see we now have 2 Mithril ore here, which is exactly what we want.
These boots have seen everything.
Okay. And there's nothing else to look at over here. There's nothing you can get around to over here or anything like that that I'm aware of. So we will head back over here. And group back up. Okay. Now we're going to head down to the forge itself.
This must be the forge. What a feat of engineering it is.
And we did get a journal entry for that. We already did complete Deliveranier's Head. Here's the Adamantine Forge. We got past the rubble, and we found the forge. Now we need to figure out how to activate it. Okay, so we're going to jump out here onto the forge. Everybody's going to follow. And now we're going to head over this way. Okay, and this is the area that we saw earlier that we fought the elemental in. Okay. Okay, everybody made the jump, thankfully.
The lava's erupting. Better watch my step.
Okay. The lava's actually not erupting. That perception check was for those bubbles that we saw when the elemental was here. But since the elemental's dead, those are now gone. So killing the elemental from up there helped save a lot of headache down here in this area. And we're gonna split the group here, and we're gonna take just our ranger down here again. Because again, you need to be very careful about jumping around down here, okay? And you can follow your map, and you can see what the areas are that you're going to be able to get to. See that we have some stuff over here to be able to loot. So just follow your map, look around at where it's telling you you can go and you can't go, and you'll be fine. Okay, so here, and go down here. Again, I'm going to hide just so I can examine the path and make sure everything's good. I don't see anything back here that I can loot, so it doesn't look like there's any need to go that way. I'm gonna go here to this corner. Jump over to here. Now, is there anything over here? Yeah, it looks like we have a skeleton that we can look at over here. So if we go here, you can see there's a bit of red right here. So we're just gonna inch up on it. Jump to here. Now you can see this is all white. I just don't trust it. So I'm gonna jump again. Okay, and we can get to here. Now here, can jump. I don't know if that's going to put me in the lava though. And I think this is as close as I can get. So I'm going to Misty Step over there, and then I can short rest to restore Misty Step, and I can come back. Okay. So, because there is a skeleton, and it may not be worth even doing it, but no reason really not to, so.
Invenium Viam.
Okay, so there's an adamantine key, so it is worth coming over here, because that is the thing that I've been missing all of this time, I think. Okay. Now down around this area, holding Alt, doesn't look like there's anything else that I need to do, so now I'm going to short rest, and I'm going to Misty Step back. Okay. Just gonna jump over to here. Jump again to here. Now you can kind of see how this works. Just take it slow. Watch where your jumping is going to get you. Use your hidden pathways to make sure that everything's gonna be alright. Okay, and then you can see here that what it wants to do is it wants to actually head back down there. Now I can cross around this corner. I can still get around here. Forward a little bit, and I'm going to jump over to here. Should be okay crossing all of this. I can pick up another Maragon Halberd. And search the skeleton here. Thing. Okay, now there is another skeleton up here, so let's jump up here. Nothing. Vases are broken. Let's see if there's anything down and around this side. Jump down here. Is there anything over here? Yes, you can see there's another Maragon halberd and another skeleton over this way. So, move here and jump over here. This way. Okay, we'd probably be able to cross that. I'm just not going to chance it.
By the hells, a lava elemental. No wonder the lake's so volatile.
So again, that's something that would happen if the lava elemental was still alive. It's letting you know what's there and letting you know that it's the reason that things are bubbling here. Okay. So nothing much, nothing on alt. And you definitely want to become unencumbered. Before you try and make your jumps. Alright, now the last place we need to go is here into the middle, and the best way is probably to get across there. So we'll head back where we were. Okay. Holding alt, you can see there's an adamantine chest up here. Okay, and it's locked. However, we did pick up an adamantine key. Unlocks it. Perfect. And this is what I had been missing all that time, the sentient amulet.
Last come!
The amulet is heavy, but holds a subtle warmth, like it was left under the sun. Suddenly, the metal surges with heat. You feel great power and an overwhelming urge to laugh.
Can thou endure?
Okay. So, looks like I can make a saving throw here. Only a 10 DC. Okay, good.
The laugh urge fades. A quiet power spreads from hand to head, then down to your feet.
Thou hast done well. For what is a laugh if not one step toward madness? Thou art the one! Return me, take me home, and thou shalt glow with blessings. To mine granddaughter, Shira Clarwin, serves Ilmata she doth. She waits in Worm's Crossing. Take me there, and thou shalt bathe in her golden gifts. Oh, thou shalt be blessed indeed. A ghost? I am sunlight on water, dew on grass. Sharons broke my body, but my spirit they could not. Well, not completely. Thou shalt return me home. It is written. I shall walk with thee. I shall grant you my power.
Okay, let's try and make an investigation check here. Only a 10 DC, and I do have a lot of proficiencies here.
Etched on its face is an image of the dawning sun.
Okay, so I can try and make a religion check or an insight check. Try an insight check. I have more positives there. Again, a 10 DC. Wow. Okay, so I'm not going to use my inspiration for that.
Now is not the time for dreaming. Open thine eyes, fair fool.
So I'm going to try the religion check.
You recognize the symbol. It belongs to those sworn to Lathander, god of dawn and renewal. Whatever madness this spirit suffers was inflicted by Lathander's enemies, followers of Shah. And this madness may flow into you.
Okay, so we're going to just stow the amulet for now.
You feel a chuckle coming on, but it soon fades.
Okay, so as I said before, I've never actually gotten the sentient amulet before. For some reason, I don't know why, I've just never picked it up. So it looks like it gives you the shatter spell and a talk to sentient amulet class action. So shatter, we know what it does. It's basically a thunder damage. It's a long distance spell as well. But talk to sentient, speak with the conscious lingering inside the sentient amulet. So, okay, interesting. So, I am going to probably... And yeah, that free magic missile is something that we like, but for when it's gone... it might be good for him to have a backup spell to go along with it. So we're going to put it in there for now, and we'll see if he uses it. Because right now Gale doesn't have his magic missile spell available because he used it. Right. Okay. Yeah, we may end up equipping it here in a second, but we'll see what happens here. So that gets us everything down here. So we're going to hide again just so we can... And you can see on the map, we've cleared everything out here.
Breathe deep and move.
Okay. Okay, don't need to hide anymore,
Catch a break.
and can meet up with everybody else and group up. Okay. Okay, Gale. Why is that too far for Gale? Encumbered? Oh, he's encumbered. I was like, why is that too far for Gale? Wow, that 0.05 amulet encumbered him. That's pretty good. Yeah, I was like, why can't he make that jump?
What to do?
Okay. So now you can check your map, and we've cleared out everything up here. We do have the Harper stash that we can get when we go back and explore that when we head out of the Grymforge. But for right now, you can see that our next quest object is to deal with the Adamantine Forge. So the first thing that you want to do here is save your game, create a new save, and just call it something like before the Adamantine Forge so that you know where you're at. And the reason for that is, again, because of what happens once you trigger the forge to drop down. The only way to get out of here is when you trigger the forge lever, this whole thing is going to drop down to this lower level down here. As you can see, there's some stuff you have to interact with down here. So this whole thing is going to drop all the way to the bottom. And there's a lever there, and there's a button right here. This button is what brings you back up to the top up here. Unfortunately, that may break, or it may not work if you use the hammer to kill Grimm. And if Grimm dies when he's on the crucible or after that hammer hit, it might break. I've played Grimm 2 or 3 times, and I think I've figured out a way to make sure that it doesn't glitch out like that. But to do it, you have to not use the hammer to kill him. You can use the hammer to damage him, but once he's gotten that batch of hit points gone, you can't use it again because he dies and he sits right here on top of this thing. And I think we can avoid that. But for now, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to prep everything about the forge here. And then we're going to save the game, and we're going to do the fight at the start of next week's episode. That way, off screen or off stream, I can play through and win the fight and get it to a point where it will allow me to escape this area. And if not, on the stream next week, then I can just load that save, go from there. So, but you definitely have a save here now. So we have a before the Adamantine Forge, because you need to save before you drop down, before you have the forge drop down. So there's no point in loading anything up right now because it's not going to do anything. But so we're just going to go over and hit the forge lever.
Better not be cursed.
Okay, and you can see what the forge lever does is it drops that hammer down. Actually, I take that back. We need to load it up here. That's what causes the forge to go down, is once you've loaded these up. So we have 2 mithril ore here. I'm going to split those. And I'm going to put them in my custom bar. You don't have to do this. It's just the way that I'm choosing to do it. And then on Lae'zel, I'm going to go into her custom bar, and I'm going to put the splint mold, which is the first one I'm going to do, and the scimitar mold in here. Okay. So now I can take and split this group, and I can take Lae'zel, and I can have her interact with the mold chamber. Okay, so it asks you to insert it. So I can go to custom, and I can just put the splint mold in and click insert. Successfully inserted. Okay. So there's also a lever here that ejects the mold, and it will eject it onto the ground right there. So if you want to switch the mold out, you can at any time. So now I need to put the mithril ore in, and to do that, I'm gonna put that into the crucible. Okay, so again, custom menu, mithril ore, drop it in. You can also open up your inventory and drag it from here. It's just, I've already got them in here, it's just quick. The custom menu stays open from character to character, so it just makes it easy to do it. Okay. So, now I've put my ore in, and I've put my mold in the mold chamber.
No one stopped me yet.
And now, I can trigger the forge lever. Okay.
That did the trick all right. And down it goes.
So now the platform control button here allows you to take this back up. So if you click the platform control, okay, so that is what should be able to happen after the Grimm fight is over. Unfortunately, sometimes it just breaks, and you're not, and the platform button, when you click it, says it's broken, or it can't be used right now, and you're not able to bring the forge back up. And if you can't bring the forge back up, then you can't jump across here and get and make your way out of the forge area. Okay, so that's why you want to make sure you're saved up here beforehand, and it's gonna, and that way if the fight goes bad, then you can reset it and do the fight again. Okay. So now we're down here at the bottom. We have mithril ore in the crucible. We have a mold in the mold chamber. The next thing we need to do is to trigger the forge. Now we've seen that we've hit the forge lever and it's hit, but nothing's happened here. It hasn't crafted anything. And that's because, like it said earlier in the book that we read about the construction of it, it needs lava to heat that thing up and melt the mithril ore up and melt it, so that then you can slam into the mold and create whatever you want it to create. And that's why down here we have a lava valve. Okay? So, in splitting your party, here's kind of how I've worked this in the past, is I have Shadowheart here around this side of the lava lever.
You have my attention.
I have Gale
Let's go.
here. And I have him hidden, and I have Shadowheart hidden. Well,
None shall see me.
Can't give up now.
okay, I leave Dorvalin in this spot,
Oh, enough waiting. I crave
and
What to do?
actually I move Dorvalin to the front side of the lever.
Enough
And then
waiting.
Lae'zel I
crave
move
blood.
Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. And Lae'zel I move to the exact opposite side. And you'll see how this kind of becomes more clear as what's happening once I trigger this fight. And you'll see what happens. You'll see when Grimm comes out. You'll see how to lure him around and how to damage him using the forge and the other stuff that he spawns when he gets hurt and all that sort of stuff. So we'll in depth go through the Grimm fight at the very start of next stream. And next stream might be actually two big fights. This right now is the biggest fight, or one of the two biggest fights in the early access, the other one being the Githyanki Patrol. So since we're going to have a full stream dedicated to starting off with this fight, then we'll go over and get the Harper stash over there, and then after that we may head off to the Githyanki Patrol and see if we can tackle that one or not. And I guarantee you I'm going to use save and reload on that one. It's just so RNG based because it's so far above my level. This fight here is well above your level as well. Grimm is a level 8 golem, but you can do massive damage. You can do half of his hit points by bashing him with the Forge Hammer. So it evens it out and brings his hit points down to be basically no more than what the Fey Spider Matriarch was, and that sort of stuff as far as hit points go. And that was an easily manageable fight. So this one's not going to be easy, but you can manage Grimm's actions and lure him around to minimize the damage that you can take. And we'll kind of go through all of that as we get ready. So what we're going to do is we have our before Adamantine Forge save, so we're now going to do another save down here. And on that note, I know it's 30 minutes early, but we wouldn't be able to do this fight in that 30 minutes anyway, and I don't want to keep everything running long this week. So we're going to pick up next week right with this fight. Next week, again, should be another off-day stream on Saturday because of the NFL season. So I'll see you back here on Saturday from 2 to 5 Central Time. And until then, thanks everybody. I'll see you then.